Hello. Once again I come before you as a representative of the Illuminati. You may call me the man. Well, finally, the inauguration is over. I tell you, whoo, what a weekend. Man, that was exhausting. And not just the weekend, and not just because of all the partying. No, it was exhausting holding his hand for the last few months. He did not want to be president, so for all of October and then November, especially when he found out he was going to win, and then December and then January, until now, I had to walk him through it. He tried to quit maybe, 35 times by my count, and it was just like dragging him into the White House to get him in there. He doesn't want to be president. Donald Trump doesn't want to keep playing Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump. He doesn't want to keep playing that character, but, a bet's a bet, right? And so we didn't let him out of it. He's so upset. He's got to keep playing that buffoon for 4 more years. I don't know. We might let him out of it for a little while. As long as he proves the point. Now, of course, the point is out of control populism can really bring down a country. People shouldn't believe everything that's promised to them in a political campaign. And also, the two-party system is not a good thing when the parties are entrenched. And you should always have a third option, at least, maybe a fourth, maybe a fifth, But the whole world will see that. It will be played out in spectacular style and size. It's going to be huge. He is prone to say. Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be great. Don't worry about it. I know a lot of you guys are worried out there. Don't worry about it. No, there's things are gonna be bumpy. We're doing it on purpose, but everything's gonna turn out fine. We have a long-term goal. We run this past the really big computer, and there's about 6 ways this is all going to turn out really, really well. And about 4 ways it's still going to turn out kind of good. And only about 2 ways that it could really come back to bite us in the end. And as long as Charlie Sheen is not in an Oscar-nominated film for the next 6 years or so, those 2 ways never going to happen. They both depend upon the Sheen factor. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to be all right. Don't worry about it. Sit back, enjoy the ride. Most of you guys already know all the dangers that we've already talked about, populism and all the promises, not critical thinking and things like that, two-party system. So you guys, you've already learned this lesson, but the world in general has to keep being reminded over and over and over again for it to sink in. Every new generation needs its weird extremist leader. So the character of President Donald J. Trump will take care of all that. And that's actually not even what the video is about. If you've read the title, you already know what the video is about. It's the Clinton Global Initiative conspiracy. So let's talk about that. We'll get back to Trump as he does more and more stuff, like sign executive orders, pushing the boundaries of the powers the president actually has. He wasn't the first one to get there. Obama wasn't the first one to get there. George W. Bush was kind of the first one to get there. But, that's a lesson that everybody needs to learn as well. America has no king. America needs no king. But anyway, let's go on to the day's topic, the Clinton Global Initiative. A lot of you may have found out recently that the Clinton Global Initiative shut down. And I understand that, the more cynical among you might be saying, well, no wonder it shut down. Hillary Clinton lost, and therefore lost all the access she had to all the powers that be, and that's what the people were paying for in the Clinton Global Initiative. And I can see why you would think that. I mean, that's a pretty logical thing to think, actually, if you're pretty cynical or, halfway paying attention. And then some of you who are not as cynical might say, well, the powers that be, the governments that were actually giving to those organizations during the campaign, the Clinton Global Initiative took a hit in its reputation, and so they don't want to be associated with that kind of corruption. And sometimes governments care about corruption. You're right, sometimes they do. Not nearly enough, but sometimes they do. And so, that's a good motivation for nobody giving to it, and therefore it has a shutdown too. But, of course, that's not why you're here, is it? No, you're here to find out the truth from the Illuminati. And that's what I'm here for. No alternative facts here, just the facts. No, it's just that, the whole thing is... It goes back long before Bill Clinton became president, of course. Now, as most of you know, the people who've watched the videos for a while, when we discussed the moon landing video, you heard about the fact that there is a base on the opposite side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, that the Anunnaki left in order to kind of keep tabs on us. And if you make it to this point, congratulations, here's some other things. And so, yeah, for a few trips we went there, and the astronauts who were on those trips discovered these bases that we already kind of knew were there, but they verified it, let's put it that way. And so, well, when people do something like that, you just kind of got to take care of them. Now, 24 astronauts have officially been to the moon. 24. 12 of them actually walked on the surface. 12 did not. But anyway, yeah, 24 have been to the moon officially before we stopped the whole Apollo program, because we didn't need it anymore. The transporter works quite well, and we just pop back and forth anytime we want to. But no, those 24 people, they risked life and limb. I mean, these guys are American heroes. And, well, not just American heroes. They're human heroes. They're heroes to all humanity, no matter what. Even though, they're just American. No. They're heroes no matter who you are. They are a representation of all of humanity that has gone into space. Officially. So, yeah, I mean, these guys, you got to take care of these guys. So, it was established a long time ago, starting with, of course, the 60s, when the whole system started working, that once these guys got to the moon and they found out the bases and stuff and have done such a huge service for us, well, they should be taken care of. And so every president since then, with the exception of Nixon, has established an organization, a foundation for their library, for other things. And they use part of that money to funnel in to taking care of these great men who accomplished such a marvelous thing. And so the Clinton Global Initiative was just the latest turn on that. And well, Gene Cernan died, and we didn't need it anymore. Mr. Cernan was a very nice guy, and he had a lot of stuff that he really, really wanted to take care of. But obviously, an astronaut doesn't pay a whole lot. Well, he did a great service for us, so we've been quietly taking care of many of the foundations that he set up that many people don't know about, and the huge amount of money that's gone through that little pipeline. Well, it just wasn't needed anymore. Now, we know some people skimmed off the top. Obviously, people donated, and they actually did get access to certain parts of the Obama administration or whatever. Yeah, we already knew that was going to happen. But, yeah, the majority of the whole thing was going to Mr. Cernan. I mean, he never took it personally himself. He was very comfortable. That's the way most of these guys were. 24 of these guys, never a single one of them went off to Vegas and bet it all on black. They were stand-up people. And so that's basically it. He no longer was around, and so that whole initiative was no longer needed. So that's why it shut down. It didn't just shut down because Hillary Clinton had no access to sell anymore, but that's just a little part of it. Anyway, yeah, no, there were other ways around it, and so we just didn't need it anymore. So that's the whole story, and you got to take care of people like that. And we, the Illuminati, we're about taking care of people. We want to take care of, matter of fact, the entire world. We're the kind of people who want to make the whole world a kinder and more gentle place in which to live. And so to that end, we have a slight recommendation, and that is that when you look outside after you go out of your house or your tent or your apartment, wherever you happen to live, and you look up there in the sky and you see those chemtrails blazing, well, we in the Illuminati, we would suggest that you not worry about those. We would suggest, in fact, that you would just relax and breathe deeply